Boa-Bao. They've built immersive dining destinations in Lisbon, Porto, and Barcelona, inspired by 1920s Asian street markets. They created surreal spaces serving authentic flavors and top-notch hospitality.
Success leaves clues. And Boa-Bao is a restaurant that I would look at if I were you. Hey, I'm looking to grow, I'm looking to scale, can't quite figure it out. I would look at Boa-Bao. And the reason why is because Boa-Bao does a great job of creating an experience. They don't create an experience by having crazy next level food. They don't have a Michelin star. They don't have $1 million build outs. Their locations are all built by hand, meaning that they pick every single piece of furniture that's in here, all reclaimed. And if it's not reclaimed, they make it look reclaimed. They have a lived in feel. They want you to feel like you're in the 1920s Asian market. There's so much detail because they've handpicked every single piece that's in here. All the windows, all the piece of wood, all the doors, everything were handpicked by them, and they didn't spend millions of dollars doing it. Secondly, their food, they do pan-Asian food, completely authentic, made from scratch. They're not doing anything crazy. They want to get as close as possible to feeling like you're in that country, whether it's Indonesia, Korea, Japan, whether it's in Thailand. They're trying to get as close as humanly possible. They stick to making sure that everything is done right at a high level. They don't cut corners, they don't go cheap. They only make it the right way. And then not the expensive way, but the right way. And there's a very big difference. With this, they've been able to scale to 3 locations, soon to go to 5. They have 1 QSR, a dark kitchen for to-goes because their to-goes have blown up so much. And this is all with no advertising, right? No marketing, just putting out good product, good experiences, and investing in hospitality. So with that being said, I'm absolutely enamored with Boa-Bao. And I finally got down to sit with the owners and pick their brains and talk about it. And I think that's one of the driving factors of Boa-Bao and the owners, is that they don't have limited beliefs. They don't let people tell them what to do. They don't let traditions tell them what to do. They don't let statistics tell them what to do. They're doing what they believe is right to give the best experience possible. And some of the things they're doing are absolutely amazing. So anyway, I can go on and on and on about this, but let's just jump right in. So Gregg, Nathalie, thank you for joining me. Boa-Bao is one of my favorite concepts. Yeah, I've been to all 3 multiple times now, and yeah, it literally is. Like when we left the first time, went back to the United States, there was like a big hole left in us. I'm serious, because we wanted the jambu tonic, we wanted the pad thai noodles, the freaking curry, everything was just phenomenal, all the desserts. And we love the concept. I like the concept because it's so well executed. There's a lot of passion behind it. Passion behind the recipes, passion behind the actual restaurant itself, the design, each location is so very unique. And so I want to talk to you about that and understand the why. Like, why did you guys start Boa-Bao?
At the core is in this part of Europe, basically say in most of Europe. If you think about the cuisines that you're not going to cook at home, is basically going to be Southeast Asian food. You can make a pizza at home, you can make a burger at home, you can make a steak at home, you can make a pasta at home. Go and make a massaman curry, where the curry itself has over 37 ingredients. And then you're just talking about the sauce. You need to have the recipes, you have to have the ingredients, you have to have the tools, you have to have the recipes and the execution files. Not an easy feat. It was an endeavor of ours to actually realize a concept that could bring this to these markets in their authentic form. We were not set out to do fusion or reinvention or of any kind. The idea was to bring the star dishes of Southeast Asian countries in one place and execute it the way they're done over there in their countries of origin, and to do that in a atmosphere which was different. We're not in the food selling business, we're in the experience selling business.
Yeah.
This is what we do, we sell an experience. So from the moment you walk in, the way you're greeted, the environment you're in, the music, the way people are dressed, the way we set the tables, the food selection, the cocktail selection, the drink selection, everything is sort of tailor-made to transport you to Southeast Asia, wherever you are. Going forward, the idea is to bring this concept all over the world, frankly. And I'm even confident enough to say that at the level we execute, we can even do it in Southeast Asia.
I love that confidence. That tells you a lot. You have like it based off of kind of like a travel, right? Like you're just touring Asia, right? Explain that concept to me a little bit more.
Well, the traveling through Southeast Asia is the fact that we do the foods from 11 different Southeast Asian countries. When we brainstormed, and we're 3 partners. One partner is not here today, which is the executive chef, Chris Gielen, who's a partner of ours too.
Partnering up with Gregg and Nathalie, we share the same passions, Asian food. Started this amazing restaurant and the response was incredible. I got involved with Asian cuisine because I am classically French trained, which I get into contact of new products, new flavors, new cooking. It was very interesting for me because it was completely new. And actually I stayed in that kind of cuisine until I'm still there today. Every day finding new dishes, combining that knowledge from different countries, because mainly what we do is we don't buy the sources available, we make everything ourselves. But also my partners have the same state of mind. There would not be a Boa-Bao if not all of us would have this mentality.
We thought it would be cool to bring that element of a journey. And when we had the first menu design created by somebody who worked within the company by them. The idea was to bring this journey through Southeast Asia in the 1920s. And this is why what you see here in the environment reflects, the markets and that vibe you would get in the 1920s traveling through Southeast Asia. So the menu is like a travel guide, the passport to the cocktails and the drinks. It's another element of that. The boarding pass for the people waiting in the queue that allows them to have some drinks and some food before even entering. It's all part of that journey, and the journey continues because what we have on our menus today will not necessarily be what we'll have on our menus in 3 months, 6 months, or a year from now. I mean, even there, we go to different countries. We try different regions within a country. So yeah, it keeps it exciting to the people that come many.
And when you talk about authenticity with like the food and stuff like that, authentic ingredients, what's the commitment level there?
Oh, the highest. I mean, I don't think we could do anything more than we do today to give you the most authentic version of every dish of every country. And I'll give you a simple example. The star dish is obviously the pad thai shrimp. We sell the pad thai shrimp with black tiger shrimp, which is like the most expensive shrimp money can buy. We could do a pad thai shrimp with 20 different varieties of shrimp, which would be cheaper. We don't go there. For the pad thai noodles, the name says it itself, it's Thai. The noodles come from Thailand. Now there are many different brands of pad thai noodles in Thailand. We take the best we can get. And the same goes throughout every single dish that we make. The baos made in a company in Malaysia that executes our recipes. Yeah, even import those too. So we do a lot of direct import from Asia, and we make sure that we have the best of the best.
It kind of shows through the flavor because I've never had pad thai noodles like that before. Even when I went back home, we went back to our favorite Thai place, it wasn't the same. The quality of the noodle wasn't the same, which I noticed right away. You're not getting the most expensive shrimp because it's the most expensive shrimp, right? So you can say, we have the most expensive shrimp. No. You're doing it because it's authentic to the flavor.
It's the best shrimp, it's the best flavor, and it's what best represents what you'll get in Thailand.
There are many places where they make pad thai and they would buy the sauces. Upscale restaurants, they buy the sauces. And we choose to make our own sauce that gives the fresher flavor, it gives the more exotic flavor, the real deal. We do that in-house, and that makes it different, because when you said that you went back home and you couldn't find that flavor, is probably because we make it fresh in-house. It gives the difference. You taste it.
So basically, everything is manufactured in-house. We don't manufacture noodles. We import the rice. So there are also many qualities of rice. We import the best qualities of jasmine rice. But all the rest is made in-house. Everything is made here, handmade, and it's hard labor. We did not take the easy way, but we stand by delivering the highest quality version of every dish that we can. And that will never go away. That if you ask us, what are we all about? That's what we're all about. We're all about that on the food. We're all about that on the drinks. We're all about that on the service. We're all about that on the decoration, on the location in which cities we are. If you want to deliver the best version of anything, you're nearly bound to make it yourself. I mean, something made in a factory, they can never deliver the same quality, freshness, depth of flavor. And then you're stuck with a profile, right? Because if you buy something from a brand, you're stuck with that brand. That's it. That's the profile of what the product is, and that's it. And it allows us to actually go further the flavor profile of every dish we make. neither Natalie or me come from this industry. A disadvantage in some way and an advantage in another. Not coming from this industry, you're much more open to try things.
Yeah.
Most of the time people told us, oh, but you'll never succeed if you don't do this. Well, we tried it our way and thank God, so far we did succeed. That's maybe one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is basically a chef, which is Chris, which is our partner, is very much into, what happens in the kitchen. And God knows there's a lot happening in the kitchen. He needs to have his focus on that. Nor Natalie nor me have the knowledge on how to train floor staff. When we started our first restaurant, we actually hired somebody who used to be a restaurant manager. And he gave in, the basic Portuguese. That was the first restaurant. And we managed with that, but we weren't happy. Since I told you that this is a commitment to set this passion, we will always try to do better. In everything we do, we will always try to do better tomorrow.
We knew what we wanted, but it doesn't mean that we can bring that to our staff. You know where you want to go, but you need a trainer who knows how to bring them there. When we saw what you were doing, you train with everything in the positive way. I think that makes a big difference. I think that's where you make a difference.
And with systems.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Is the key. Succeed in that.
Yes, 100%. And then how do you guys pick your dishes? Because right now, how many dishes do you have on the menu? Around about?
Oh, a lot. I think it's somewhere in the 60s. But then it also depends because, like Greg mentioned before, is like we bring dishes back for a period of time because we can only get that ingredient at a certain moment of the year. So then we add to it. So we have a big menu and then the things that come and go, which makes it sometimes even much bigger. We had a Vietnamese pop-up that was so popular that stayed for a while.
Yeah, well, the pho is a classic example. You can eat pho in many places in the world. If you know to make a pho, there's 33 base ingredients that go into making a pho. A pho has to cook anywhere between 10 to 12 hours. That means that you reduce actually your initial pot by half. After 12 hours, you have the concentration of half of what you're starting with. That's how you get that flavor. But you need to be able to do that. I mean, he has to want to go there. Sure, you can make a pho, pretty good tasting pho if you boil it for 4 or 5 hours. But you're never going to get the same thing if you commit to doing it for 8 to 10 hours. There's nowhere. And then that's just the cooking, boiling part. You put things in a pot, you boil it, and it's all going to work. Then you have to go on a fishing expedition because you have to take out all the bones, all that meat, the oxtail that now completely became soft and disintegrated. So, and the onions and the star anise has to go out of it. So it's a lot of labor. There's a lot of love that goes in there. And if you don't have the passion and the love, don't get into this type of business. That would be my advice to people. If you don't do it with passion and love, what we do here is basically a non-starter.
I have a theory that you guys, it's a theory. I just made this up, but it just makes sense to me that if you go to Thailand, they make everything from scratch though, right? They make all the sauces in-house because it's actually less expensive out there to do it that way. Out here, it's less expensive to just buy the bottle.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right?
And the common consumer probably can't tell the difference from this Thai place to this Thai place until you try it when it's made from scratch. And that's the big difference. I think that's like what drew me to your pad Thai noodles. I've had pad Thai noodles a million times in the United States. I've just never been a fan. It's like fine, it's whatever. But your pad Thai noodles I actually fell in love. Talk to me about your curries because your curry seems to be on another level.
Made in house. Again, the curries and curries. And if you make a curry that needs X amount to emulate or to replicate what is done over there and you cut short on 2-3 of these items, you're not going to get the same curry. And if you're driven by wanting to make more profit necessarily, you're not going to give it the cooking time. You're going to try to overproduce it from your base space. It has to be driven by what I call satisfaction. Nothing to do with the religious connotation. It's satisfaction. You have to be satisfied and you have to have the passion. And we seem to have kept that alive for 8 years, and I think we're as hungry as we were 8 years ago to keep it going that way. And this is why we're not in a rush to overgrow. the size of this company. We want to do it step by step. Yes, we do want to go to the United States. Yes, we do want to continue branching out through Europe, but we'll do it in a responsible way where we can protect the quality of everything we do before moving ahead.
Brand value. Protect the brand value.
At all costs.
I love that. On a side note, you guys are called Boa-Bao. Like, where'd you come up with that name?
That was because we started off in Lisbon. So boa in Portuguese means good. And then bao in Asia has so many meanings. You can have a bao, which is the steamed bread that we sell, the guao-baos from Taiwan. But the word bao by itself has a lot of meanings in Asia. So to combine the Portuguese with the Asian, the Boa-Bao, that was a perfect mix because we started off there and we're doing Asian food. And it gives a twist, it's the same letters, same tonation. So yeah, that's how it started.
And I like Gregg's theory too of that you almost want people to get it wrong originally.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because there's a confusion.
the confusion makes it stick, after a while.
Right.
Yeah, people will say bao bao or boa boa, but once I got boa bao right, it tends to stay there. Yeah.
I agree 100%. Why did you guys go with the, I guess for lack of a better word, sandwich bao versus like a wrapped bao? Is there a particular reason?
The original bao is the folded one that we sell here.
Oh, really? That's the original bao?
And then they started making, different types of models, but the original bao is what we serve here.
And the guao-baos.
And then the texture of the actual bao itself, do you guys have a philosophy behind that or something you look for? What is your, because I know you guys have eaten a lot of baos to get to the bao you have now.
To get to the bao that we have now, I personally have eaten and tasted over 250 versions of it to be able to get it where we are today. And then it's one thing to have the right recipe, but then you still need people to be able to produce them properly. And for that, we have to shop all around the world. And we found an amazing company in Malaysia that produces them on the license for us. And then the bao is one thing, but then you have bao flavors. So we have a white bao, which is the original bao, and you have the black bao, which is bamboo charcoal. Then you have a curry bao, a chili bao, a garlic bao, pandan bao. So, the many flavor profiles that we can bring into the various baos that you can find in our menu.
Moving on from food, which I can talk about all day, obviously, what about the cocktails? I've created a lot of bar programs. You have one of the most phenomenal bar programs. The Bow Wow, Insane in the Brain. The names even are awesome. Glassware is amazing. I don't drink. Your NA beverages are amazing. The Jambu Tonic is my favorite drink probably of all time. Talk to me about your guys' ideology behind the drinks, like when you first came up with it.
To be honest, I think when we started off in Portugal, we had to fly up and down to find the right space. And we got in touch with some young guys that were completely into the cocktail scene. We got along. We gave them the virus of it has to have an Asian twist and it needs to fit with our food. And they loved the challenge. And we had a really young, cool team that took that challenge on. Almost all the cocktails have an Asian twist to it. It's not your normal gin and tonic. No, it's a gin and tonic with an Asian twist. It is very surprising. The team that we started off with, it was such a fun team and they became so original with names and with recipes. And that just kept on going. So everybody that was added to the team got that same spirit. It's let's invent. And they did many, bar shows, and they were always coming out number one. So that gave them the challenge to continue, which is really cool.
Yeah, even you guys, just the creativity behind it's awesome. And you have a kimchi paloma, which is so smart. There's just so many smart cocktails that you guys have. Another one of my favorite things about Boa-Bao is the design. A lot of people think I just need to put a bunch of modern stuff in here, spend a bunch of money, dump it in here, get some interior designers in here, the top tier interior designers, and make this amazingly enough designed everything by yourselves. Tell me about that journey.
When we were defining the grand plan, I had to have the quality of ingredients and all the stuff that we already talked about, but then you have to put it in the setting, right? We thought that a restaurant that would be projecting you back in time would age better. It would feel more familiar. When you think about all these countries, they're 120 years ago, they were at their prime. These were the shining lights of the world. and we wanted to bring that back a little bit. So therefore, we decided to come up with an unusual design because we want to wow you on every level. The food is one thing, the drinks is another thing, the playlist of the music is another thing, the way that we serve you is another thing, which you're better than me. And yeah, I mean, you know, the last thing was, okay, let's get a fitting decor that would sort of embrace all of that.
And what was your strategies behind it? Because I see a lot of like metal, there's a lot of wood, obviously, antique stuff. What was your strategy?
Again, you know, when we started in Lisbon, we had an idea what we wanted. It was funny because Gregg could explain very well what he had in his mind, and we find the right people to execute it. And then it's just going on. Like, it's like, you know, okay, let's do this, and that's a cool idea. And then we came with the soldiers, and then we came with the birds that you see. Everything is coming back in all these restaurants.
It's a total experience. You enter there, and it's like entering a restaurant which was like in the 1920s, 1930s, over there, with a total experience. The decor, the food is amazing.
Although all three of the restaurants are totally different in layout, when you walk in, you recognize it. It has the same soldiers, it has the same tables, it has the same bar. It always has an open kitchen, which was really important for us, that people could see what they were doing. This is a never-ending story. Every time when we go somewhere and we see something that would fit in there, we just already buy it and store it for the next place, or add it on to one of our other places. It's fun. It's a fun thing to do.
The level of detail in here is insane. Because that typewriter is a
Underwood.
From
1920.
1920. Where'd you find that? In Porto?
In an old antique shop in Porto, in Portugal, yeah.
Porto is great for the air.
We signed a lot of these things. The old suitcases that you see on top there, same thing, comes from a different shop. As we go and as we travel to Southeast Asia every December for the last 25 years, we also pick up pieces there. But you know, that we think, oh, this would be cool in the restaurant. You know, oh, so a piece here, a piece there.
Yeah, it keeps evolving.
Yeah, keeps evolving.
So I like how you just have like these old iron metal gates that you kind of use to kind of just add texture.
So we have this one fantastic young man, Portuguese French, called Pio Silva. And he was a theater decor builder in Paris for many years. So he builds these decors and theaters in Paris. And he moved back to Portugal, and we got in touch. And when we were building the first one, I said, look, I'd like to give you a challenge. Build me a bar that looks like Saigon in the 1920s. And he said to me, well, you know what, Gregg? I'll do it, but you cannot interfere until it's finished. If it's no good, I'll destroy the whole thing, and then we can start on scratch. What you saw in Lisbon is the first version of what he did. Yes, we did a minute here, a little here, and a little there. And obviously, we would like to continue, working with Pio for many years. Every new Boa-Bao is going to be a Pio Silva touch to it. And he goes to yards and picks up old doors, and we have trained wooden beams, and it's a whole mix of everything. So on the spot, we can make changes. Because he has all this team here, all the materials are here. So he said, oh, Gregg, you see, let's make a bookshelf like this. I said, yeah. So he starts making it, I say, oh, maybe you shift it a little bit, maybe you should put some green, or we can decide all of that as we go, as it grows, That's really fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. You don't get that a lot. So I like how all the staircases are even different in panels, the way you panel them differently, and then the design of like, what is this design right here behind you, like that?
The pagoda, yeah.
The pagoda.
What is that?
Japanese temple.
Ah.
Or Chinese temple for all that matter, because there's this type of architecture you do find all over Southeast Asia with a little bit of different, finishings to it. But the pagoda is basically something that you find in the most of Southeast Asia, and usually are shrines.
Even the dragon heads on the bar that are, they were canes, they're the head of a cane. You took them off, drilled a hole, put a light in them. Because you look at that, it looks like some expensive interior design thing, and it still was, I'm sure it cost money, but it's like the fact that you just got creative with that is beautiful.
We make stuff ourselves too, that we transform to put it in our interiors.
And even like, I love the lived-in idea, right? Everything that is new, you guys work to make them look older and lived in, which is genius because it looks cool, it gives it an aesthetic feel, it gives it a vibe, but also the genius part about it is it ages well, right? And even the outside, like with the paintings.
Oh, that is fun. That's a lot of fun.
and the lighting, like the metal Boa-Bao, the fact that he had someone, instead of just putting, oh, we can just put Boa-Bao, right? We can just paint it on there or whatever, put a sign. It's like, take these cool metal things and then etch out in the metal Boa-Bao, put a light behind it so it's a red glowing Boa-Bao. Everything's beautiful.
Our commitment to the 30% rule is in our view, a long-term commitment. The people will come, some people will go, some people will change. Yeah, I mean, this is a never-ending start.
Well, I'm really excited to see where Boa-Bao goes. I appreciate you taking the time and sitting down with me, and I'm excited to be a part of the future.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
guys.
training us so well. You're doing such a great job with our team. I mean, I see it in their eyes, how excited they are when they get to listen to you, when they get to learn new stuff. Because this is not something that we could bring to them. We actually needed somebody like you to come in to our house and say, hey guys, let me help you with this. And we're so grateful.
So as you can see, the owners of Boa-Bao are absolutely amazing. Their vision is crystal clear, and they don't deviate, right? They don't let things like saving money, being more profitable, guide and get in the way of their vision, right? Their focus is vision. I want to obtain my vision. I want to give the guests the best experience possible no matter what. And the bottom line is they hit something I always talk about, which is a success trifecta, right? Great hospitality, good ambiance, and good food, right? Your food just has to be good. Your ambiance just has to be good, and your experience has to be great. Your hospitality has to be great. But in this case, Boa-Bao has great ambiance and great food and great hospitality all consistently in the trifecta. That's what's led them to so much success. I gotta tell you this, if you're a restaurant owner right now and you're wondering, how do I scale, how do I grow? Make those three things consistent. Make the ambiance consistent, make sure it's clean, upkept, make sure your guest experience is great, consistently elevated, the biggest problem restaurant owners have, and make sure your food is good and consistent. Good food and great hospitality beats out great food and okay hospitality every day of the week and twice on Sunday.